Geometry Dash has never stopped growing, but no game can evolve the same way forever. So what will it look like 5, 10, or even 500 years from now? Today, I'm breaking down my predictions for where players, levels, and the whole community of Geometry Dash are headed. When cities grow, they first expand outward. But as land becomes more valuable and space becomes limited, the only way to continue growing efficiently is upward. This is what creates skyscrapers. Over time, the average height of buildings gets higher and higher until a business just commits to building a behemoth. Then begins what we know as megacities. But how high can skyscrapers get? Sadly, we don't know. There isn't a simple height where a skyscraper becomes impossible. Instead, every additional floor simply becomes exponentially harder and more expensive because of engineering. After certain limits, cities are forced to find new ways to grow. When absolute difficulty and precision become almost impossible and hit limits, how do we find new methods of making harder levels? We utilize what cities know as suburban sprawl. When precision becomes so impossible that raising it further causes engineering risks, the answer may be the same as the cities. Once we can no longer build upward, we expand outward. Over the years, levels have gotten denser. Society, tidal wave, orbit, best level. Higher CPS, higher precision, and for whatever reason, level length has stayed the same. I predict that top ones will begin to lengthen over time, as this will allow more lenient precision while increasing difficulty nonetheless. Adding to my earlier point, increasing the length of levels won't make them harder how you think it will. I don't think anybody's ever talked about this. If a level is twice as long, it's not only twice as hard, it's exponential. And the reason for this is that every click doesn't just add another obstacle, it multiplies your chance of failure. We all know that as you get farther in a level, your chances of beating it decrease. This is why getting 10% is always harder than getting 5%. But your chances diminish faster than you think. If you have a 99% chance of getting through each click, and for example, a 2-minute level has 300 clicks and a 4-minute level has 600, then your chance for each is as follows. 2-minute level, you have a 4.9% chance of completing, and the 4-minute level, you have a whopping 0.24% chance of completing. So doubling the length didn't make it 2 times harder, it made it 20 times harder. This is an oversimplified version. Some clicks you naturally get every time. But you'd have to be an absolute menace to even get 50% on 240s. This is why we see so many of Doggy's runs on Grief reach 30 or 40%. His chances haven't dipped low enough by that point, but once he gets to Griefer's part, his chances of progressing hit the floor because he's reached the curve in the graph. He needs to rely on his current state and being locked in more than just memory to avoid the raw chance. In Extreme Demons, chance is never on your side. You have to be in a certain state. This is what we don't see in long levels and why Grief is so hard. The reason this makes no sense to you is because you're thinking linearly, that a level 10 times longer is 10 times harder. But every click stacks up, and soon, your luck catches up with you. This is the same reason you can't flip a coin 20 times in a row and all get heads. It's not 1 in 20, but 1 in 2 to the 20. At first it's a 1 in 2, then 1 in 4, 1 in 8, and after only 10 heads in a row, you're already at a 1 in 1024. But that's just basic math, let alone nerves and physical factors. Isn't it insane that you could literally get too tired to click after enough time? Imagine training for GD. That's so stupid. 1 minute in and you're already nervous. Let's say you already beat the first half of a level, but now you have to beat the same difficulty of a level all over again, but now you're stressed out. If Grief was 4 seconds shorter, it would already be verified. Think about how scary a 4-minute top 1 would be, but I don't think levels would be long forever. At some point in time, we'll have some kind of scientific breakthrough and be able to keep building upward. But how? People have always tried to break limits, but how do we know if we'll actually reach one? Is there really a true skill ceiling? This seems far-fetched, but if people 500 years ago thought we would be crazy for having phones in our pocket with unlimited information, imagine how crazy it'll be in 500 more years. And because of this, I think that in not too much time, hardware and our reaction time will improve. There will be some kind of breakthrough in technology that will allow us to revolutionize GD skill and continue to crush limits. 500 years from now, the internet will probably still be around. GD will, and this means we have plenty of time to optimize it. Here's a graph of technology over time. And you would think, oh, it probably goes up slowly and then, creeps up a little bit faster around modern times, right? Because of the Industrial Revolution. You couldn't be more wrong. And this is because over the course of humanity, the last 300 years have been basically everything in terms of technology. We've made the equivalent of a right angle over the last few hundred years. I know that technology will continue to grow exponentially. Think about this. AI has only publicly existed for 3.5 years, and look how much the world has changed. Who knows? What are the chances that if we have 500 years in our hands, that we would be able to develop some kind of outlandish cyberpunk gene editing technology that can make us able to perfectly time million FPS frame perfects? What if wave strip flight becomes a thing? As I've previously mentioned, the meaning of the word impossible is the same as a heap of sand. The word really has no meaning. I'm gonna make a lot of you mad right now. Ton 618 is possible. Yes, I said it, I know. And no, I don't mean right now. Nobody today can beat it. But I mean that it's possible because the limit of human skill isn't fixed. Who knows how long it'll take to actually reach this limit? What I think will happen is that precision will creep up and up to an asymptote for years, then suddenly explode out of proportion when this new technology arises. But I don't think that skill will be the only thing that carries the game. It'll be the story and significance to it. Levels will eventually become so precise that they will basically be impossible for new gens to play in practice mode. And I think the reason that they're becoming so precise is because creators don't have the time to make a level longer. Thinking Space 2 could have used the full song, but that would have taken 3 times longer. Instead, to make the level top 1, they just made it 3 times more precise. This is why Thinking Space 2 is pure skill. I think making levels with multiple drops and listening to the full song gives it way more aura, and a sense of completion that you survived the entire length of the song. Such as Grief. There's no way that Grief would be anywhere near as popular if, like Stalemate, it only used the first half of the song. The second drop gives it a feeling of story in its journey. Doggy has gone through the hell of Grief as well as his own trying to verify it, even though he makes hella bread. And this is why Grief isn't really a level anymore. It's a community-wide event for this reason. No wonder he gets 40,000 concurrent viewers on his streams. We're no longer watching a stream, but rather a story. And we watch it because we want to see if the end is here. This is why a full song adds to a level. I predict that more community-wide event levels will be made, and that will be the main reason for the growth of the game, as it already is. Only a few levels have been long while maintaining quality. Flame Wall is a good example. Don't even think about every end. If it takes 1 year to produce a high-quality 2-minute level, it'll take 5 years for a 10-minute level. That's crazy, so we have to increase work output. Since level creation will take so long, would this force us to create even bigger projects so the time spent feels worth it? I don't mean mega collabs, but on the scale of something closer to giga collabs, where every 2 minutes, a different team gets to create the next chapter of the level. They might even be moderated and helped by a separate team of hosts organizing the event, trying to maintain style and quality. These days, difficulty and recognition are the currency of GD levels, which is why there's so many extremes being built. This idea of a giga collab could earn a huge amount of recognition. Imagine the top 100 creators made a level. That's basically a movie at that point. The reason this hasn't happened yet is because of coordination. There would have to be multiple levels of the creating hierarchy. Think about it this way. A group of hosts, let's say 5. 5 directors under each host, 25. Then 5 builders under each director, 125. That's a total of 155 people building a level. And we can already see the failed example of this with Sekubin End, where there's literally zero coordination, so you get some decent decoration, then average decoration but a different style, and then you get Big Bro, which humbles you, and all of the little creators with his masterpiece, like are we that ass? Why did level 99 bro come back to the lobby? These days, levels aren't just levels, they're productions like films. There's end screens, credits, art, effects teams, optimization, and a whole verification process. The only next step they need for this to happen is a higher level of organization, with multiple tiers of involvement. As a community, we're no longer just playing a game, we're building games inside one. With 2.2 out, Geometry Dash basically is an engine, and we're only starting to understand what we can create with it. If you think you can build anything you want right now, just wait 50 years. We already know that multiplayer is coming out soon. There's going to be new mechanics and triggers. Luckily, RobTop seems to know the value of programming the editor, because every new function that he adds increases the potential quality of levels. Right now, the game is still fully controlled by RobTop, but that might change over time. If he ever steps back from rating levels and choosing daily and weekly content, It could open the door for deeper community involvement, because the future of Geometry Dash won't just be about chasing the hardest levels possible. It'll also be about massive, ambitious team projects. Gameplay will keep getting more precise. Levels will grow longer and more ambitious, turning into full productions with deeper stories and journeys. These huge verification processes will capture attention outside of the community. Luckily for us, Geometry Dash isn't slowing down, it's only getting started. Every generation thinks they've reached the ceiling, but every ceiling eventually becomes a floor for the next generation. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to let me know what you think of my crazy ideas.